for our last session, where we're diving into an essential topic on an overview of sustainability and certain actions that we have actually taken. But first, let me do a quick introduction to ourselves. For today's presentations, we have Jan Tore, who is our global product developer for Naviate, for our Symetri Naviate product line. We also have Ron Locklin, who leads our global sustainability platform for Autodesk. And last but not least, you have me, who is the global head for impact and innovation for Symetri. And on that note, I'm going to hand it over to Ron for a little bit of housekeeping notes.
Great, thanks, Shivani. Appreciate it. So, as Shivani said, we're going to recap a presentation that we did at AU and talk about, specifically focus on the AEC industry. Before we start, I just have to say, on behalf of Autodesk, this is our safe harbor statement, which is essentially saying that we will talk about futures here. And the Autodesk futures we talk about, we can't guarantee. Don't want you to make specific decisions based on the futures. We will talk about things that have just been released, and that's solid, but we want to make sure you know that this is not a guarantee of future delivery for some of these features that I'll describe. Okay. Next, please.
Right. Thank you for that, Ron. All right. So first, let's just talk a little bit about Symetri. And one of our core missions, it's crystal clear. It's decarbonization. We're actually committed to advancing sustainability within our industry and making a positive contribution to the environment through various initiatives. And to be honest, it's not really hard for us to find the reasonings of why. The consequence of climate change are increasingly evident and worldwide. For example, rising global temperatures are leading to a more frequent and severe heat waves, droughts, wildfires, and storms. And these extreme weather events can have a profound implication for our communities and our ecosystem as well. Climate change can also disrupt food security by affecting crop yields and changing the distribution and behavior of pests and diseases. And also there may be increased flooding may demand the relocation of some population. And biodiversity loss driven by climate change can have an adverse effect on both environment and humanity. Our mission aligns with the objectives of the Paris Agreement. We're aiming to limit the global temperature rise to below 1.5 degrees. And in that, our pursuit for environmentally sustainability and carbon reduction, we actually firmly believe that our action speaks louder than our words. Our goal goes beyond merely reducing emission, but we actually aim to improve the quality of life of those residing and working in buildings, as well as the surrounding communities. Our commitment is to turn discussions into tangible changes, where we're dedicated to going beyond the words and making a positive impact by translating discussions into real actions. Our focus is on transforming the way that we design, operate buildings, and addressing climate change at a scale. And today our focus is on innovation, decarbonization, diversity, and data-driven decision-making. We envision a future where tailored solutions guided by data insights actually meet the unique needs of our diverse customer base. In the Nordics, data shapes hydropower and wind energy initiatives. In the UK, there's an investment of offshore wind farms and eco-friendly construction driven by data-driven decisions. Ireland promotes sustainability backed by data practices. And in the US, our solutions from solar power to energy efficient designs are influenced by data as well. Now, we're not saying that these are the only key things that are driving all of these regions, but one thing is for sure, that leveraging data is a common theme across these strengths. Symetri actively supports customers in these regions, and we're actually using our unique position for cross-cultural learning, something that we're really proud of. And through our collaboration and our unique position, we actually contribute to a decarbonization, innovative solution, and a more sustainable future, all guided by data-driven insights. Now, in the construction and engineering world, we collaborate with diverse stakeholders, and each actually face unique challenges. Our mission is to guide you through the AEC sector's journey, where decarbonization and digital transformation actually drives innovation. Now, many of you may have seen this innovation curve in one form or another, but if we start to draw parallels to the innovation adoption curve, our industry features various roles. We have the innovators, who are the pioneers embracing technologies and propelling progress. We have the early adopters that are swiftly interrogating and integrating sustainable innovation to enhance outcomes. Then we have the chasm, which signifies the transition from a niche to a mainstream sustainable practices. But we also have the early majority that seeks concrete evidence before embracing innovation. Then we have the late majority as well, and they follow once innovation have actually been tried and tested. We also have the laggards who adopt change cautiously, but can still benefit from the solutions. And to be honest, all of us are somewhere along this curve. And it doesn't matter where you are, as long as there is progress and we're moving forward by leveraging technology and the transformation to move forward. Our aim is to understand your unique position and the requirements along this curve. We're committed to delivering tailored solutions and to the adoption of innovative sustainable practices within the AEC industry. This journey focuses on elevating your projects, reducing environmental impact, and aligning with the built environment with your present and future needs. And in this talk, we're going to start to explore some of our strategies and technologies with particular emphasis on decarbonization through a customer-centric approach. But first, our commitment to sustainability is evident in the strategic partnerships with Autodesk as a sustainability tech partner that we're truly proud of and excited to see where we're going to go with this journey, but also an exclusive partnership with One-Click LCA throughout all of the Autodesk channels. It's reflecting our dedication to a broader community and involvement for impactful change. Our co-innovation practice, a robust R&D group, embodies our commitment to innovation. It's rooted in the belief that effective decarbonization requires transparency and collaboration. The co is key. The co is core, is part of our ethos. But also through our Symetri tech, we've achieved notable success with Naviate Zero, which is actually powered by One-Click LCA. This innovation allows users to measure carbon impact during the early stages of a design, where it carries the most weight, a tangible commitment to us being proactive and data-driven. Our ultimate goal is to provide you with access to highly sustainable solutions in the AEC industry. And on that note, I'm going to hand it over to Jan Tore, who's going to elaborate on some of the outcomes on our collaboration.
Thank you, Shivani. Yes, my name is Jan Tore, and I'm overseeing the product brand Naviate within the Symetri organization, a department only focusing on IP. And as you can see, we are now counting 100 plus in over 9 countries. I think it's fair to say that it's important for us to be present in different countries to oversee and act on local regulations and demands. And out of those 100 people or resources, we have 50 of those focusing on 4 platforms within the AEC industry. And that goes for Revit, Civil 3D, BIM 360 AEC, and also now recently the Forma platform. In Sim Technology Unit, we have everything around product management. We have marketing side, of course, a lot of developers also working with QA, QC. And of course, we need to have the product competence support so we can support our businesses throughout there on a global level to all of our clients. So, for those of you that have been with us the whole day, you have probably heard Paul Grimston present what Naviate is all about, what we are doing there. But from my side, I see Naviate as technology ecosystem that enables you using our software out there to focus on what you like to do, creativity, and have and enjoy what you're doing in your daily work, and spend less time on tedious tasks and try to automate as much as possible. It's fully integrated either in Revit or Civil 3D to maximize your productivity, reduce the risks or errors, combining features and workflows. And of course, the whole ecosystem is supported by extensive educational content and technical support. So some of my colleagues have seen Naviate, let me see, in simple terms. Naviate means for the AEC industry, what Autopilot and Concorde meant for the aviation industry back in the days. That's a really bold statement, but I can stand behind that statement for sure. So when did it all start? In 2008, 2009, the industry hit the recession and we were forced to stop. Symetri, rather than cut back and reduce in size, we decided to invest for the future. So using now the additional capabilities within the different teams in Symetri, we went out there to learn from our customer base, developing a platform to help to drive future success and make sure to accelerate that road to recovery when we could start up again. That was the start of the Naviate journey. So from my, if you look into the Naviate portfolio and all the different features within all the different disciplines, I would say that any feature or workflow could be directly related to a customer request back in the days. So we have a community of 60,000 plus users out there, and those together with industry leading experts such as yourself out there now, that has supported the development over the last 12 to 15 years and continue to make this a success today. So the topic today, sustainable construction. You've probably seen these numbers at least in different ways, in different graphics. But those are some important numbers, and I think I will cover a couple of those as we go forward. And it's fair to say that our industry are the major contributor to the global CO2 emission, and for sure how we are consuming the resources out there. As much as 40% of solid waste is coming from our industry, and we are representing over 50% of all global material consumption. So we for sure need to do something, as Shivani pointed out as well. Looking out there now, you can see the growing focus on sustainable construction practices worldwide, with a main focus to minimize the environmental impact, but also try in the same time to maximize the quality and of course have a cost control as well. So we need to consider, of course, the whole carbon life cycle together with the life cycle cost. But Shivani said we need to act now. And for Symetri, it means that we need to act on the 11% when it comes to embodied carbon emission in construction as step one. This is just the first step into a longer journey around decarbonization. And I will get back to you how we are doing that. Another important part in this decarbonization mission is partnership, a unified force. I don't think we can work in silos and try to solve this global decarbonization journey. We need to look for partnerships, and we see also customer demands are triggering a new era when it comes to decarbonization. So just look around yourself. I will say that everywhere you turn, everybody's talking about sustainability. Our first partnership, talking about the unified forces, is all the way back in 2016, where we partnered up with a company around Naviate Daylight. And thinking about what you saw on the former presentation earlier today, considering natural or incorporating natural daylighting in your buildings could overall save you between 15 to 40% energy. That's important as a part of the sustainability and decarbonization in the industry. So early analysis, make sure you're incorporating daylighting is important going forward. carbon smart design, what does that mean? We see the purpose of carbon smart design is to focus on optimizing the energy use of the building and selecting the low carbon materials. So we are acting on the 11% in the AEC industry in step 1 and make sure that we do smart selection on materials. Everybody knows, and I think we talked about it earlier today as well, that the potential halves after each project state. So it means that you will get the full scale of potential for carbon reduction as in the early stages. In later stages, the potential is less, but still remarkable when designing smart. So our journey on the decarbonization part started last year in August 22. We created a new team with one focus only on decarbonization. To be successful creating the add-in Revit, as we saw as the platform, we quickly uncovered that a partnership was needed. We have been talking about partnership and how important those are, and one-click LCA agreement was signed back last year. That was our first step into the journey. And working with development, it's important to test out different scenarios, best practices, etc. And we created the proof of concept on how we could see Naviate Zero come alive as a product and a solution. Exploring a lot of options, looking into existing APIs and connections out there. So this September, we released what we call our MVP, a minimum viable product, Naviate Zero, that we are now currently using to validate that with our customers, looking at different needs and demands prior to developing a more fully featured product to be released later on. We probably see that we also have something called Sovelia Zero, so I will get back to that in a couple of slides. So if you're looking on the full scope of Naviate Zero, this is also a graphic, a picture you probably have seen with more or less elements describing the different phases where carbon footprint is created. This is the whole life cycle of a construction, and we looking from everything from extracting raw materials in A1 to end of use, and even think a little bit about circularity on the life cycle. Our scope, as you can see, is in A1 to A3, extracting the raw materials, move them to the manufacturers, and produce the products, also called the product phase. You can see that we now, with the one-click LCA partnership in mind, have a solution to support our clients and customers out there in early phases, A1 to A3, connecting to large databases of resources and EPDs, also bringing them the capabilities in early design. It's important to get it in as early as possible. Then to be exported to one-click LCA, because you of course need to run the full LCA analysis of your model as well. Furthermore, we have ongoing initiatives on the left side, and that comes Sovelia Zero into play to support our industry customers to look into sustainable materials when they are producing those families, those products, those walls and floors to be used in our construction industry. Naviate Zero has been mentioned several times today, and some high-level information about Naviate Zero. It's a product integrated into Revit, and it's not just about design, it's about sustainable design, smart selection of materials. And we believe that customers would like to iterate within the design platform. So we made sure to keep everything within Revit. Avoid as much as possible exporting and importing data to achieve the sustainability goals, making sure to create an environment around better communication and minimize the potential loss of data. Currently, we have around 40 to 50 clients testing Naviate Zero, providing us with a valuable feedback so we can make sure that we take the right direction in next step for the product as well. Earlier today, I had a presentation together with the formative Daniel and Christo. And as you know, we signed the agreement to take responsibility of an extension called Outdoor Area Analysis. Those of you that missed that presentation, Autodesk Forma is a platform that is here today. I think that since they released it back in springtime, they have provided us with hundreds of updates. And it's all about bringing outcome-based design to planning on early stage. Rather than evaluating one proposal at a time, Forma creates multiple different design options and solutions all at the same time. So it's up to you to just pick and choose the best ones. You don't need an extensive training on Forma. It comes with a lot of automation and analysis out of the box, like winds, sunlight, noise, etc. It's cloud-based access, fileless, and of course, it's a Revit sync to make sure that the data flow downstreams as well. I'm living in Norway, and I had the opportunity to follow this cloud solution back in the days, then known as SpaceMaker. Forma opened up for third-party ecosystem now during the summer, and when we were approached from the Forma team, if we would like to help them create that extension, we went all in. So currently we are developing the outdoor area analysis for Autodesk Forma. It was available in the classic version known as SpaceMaker, but that extension was not moved to the Forma platform, the one we see today. And the Forma, or how should I put it, the primary objective of the outdoor area extension will be to cater to needs and requirements for the Norwegian market in phase 1, but of course in later stage to provide the extension for the wider global market. And it's all about assessing the user sites, limit, address if the outer area comply with different targets as sun targets, noise targets, if the terrain is flat or steep according to local regulations. In addition to that, we are also contributing to the API with the close collaboration with the Forma team. And that's fairly new to us, that we are together can create an open API that other parties also can leverage going forward. So if you look on the release cycle for the Forma extension outdoor area, we are aiming to release the first MVP proof of concept available in the first week of December. So not far away. The future. So what will Symetri and Symetri technology do tomorrow and in the future? Currently, we are overlooking all our add-ins on top of the different Autodesk platforms that you saw earlier today to see how we can leverage different sustainability aspects. It could be how to optimize reinforcement in structure projects, or if we take circularity into context here, reuse of materials in refurbishment projects, what to keep before demolishing a building, and how that can be reused in new projects, and how can we deliver those data in the design platform for our users. Interesting topics to discuss going forward. So everything Symetri technology and Symetri are focusing on is sustainability in all different layers. And we talked about partnerships today. It's crucial today and in the future. Autodesk is the main one. We have OneClick, EC3, and of course, different AI-related companies as well. And for sure, we are all in the same boat with a common goal. So let's make sure that we take those the direction and we take the right one going forward. I don't think we have the possibility to fail in the decarbonization mission we have today. So, Ron, over to you.
Thanks, Jan Tore. I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is just talk for a couple of minutes about our Autodesk AEC vision for sustainability and how Forma fits in. So it'll be really talking about what Jan Tore has started with and maybe looking at it from a different angle. So what is driving forces? What are the driving forces of change for sustainability for the AEC industry? So decarbonization is really the core driver right now for change and innovation. And I would say there are probably three things that flow from that. So one is carbon itself is the currency for global sustainability. It has helped allow measurement, and the rise of ESG is really a tool that companies use to measure things and to do environmental reporting. It also is a proxy for many other things. It is not the be-all and end-all to sustainability and sustainability data, but it is a proxy for measurement overall. A second factor is increased global regulations. To curb climate change, more regulations are demanding increased disclosure of greenhouse gas emissions, which are typically measured through some kind of carbon measurements. There are many requirements in Europe. The Nordics tend to lead the way in Europe. But even in the US, the US Securities and Exchange Commission is driving more and more regulations in this space. So it's not just confined to the initial countries that dove in. It really is becoming more and more global. The third factor is driving force is decarbonization targets to mitigate climate change. So decarbonization and net zero commitments to reduce climate change are driving corporations to rethink their investments, their priorities, how they develop. More than 2,500 companies worldwide have science-based targets right now. So these are quite fundamental. They're having a major effect on the industry, on AEC. And interestingly, in a broader sense, these will impact other industries going forward. AEC comes first because construction is so prevalent. There's a lot of waste. There's a lot of, frankly, low-hanging fruit to work with. But the impact here is having an impact on other industries like the manufacturing industry. I wanted to talk just for a moment about the sustainable solutions and the different phases within the built environment. Traditionally, we would think of plan, design, build, operate. But in fact, the world's a lot more complicated than that. And Jan-Tore kind of hinted at this, but in fact, the phases run from what we now like to call assess, to planning, to design and design optimization, to manufacturing based on an informed design, to building, to operating, to managing, and now to renovation or cyclicality really comes into play here, where after renovate, you go back to assess. This is all really interesting because certain phases here weren't really even front and center until several years ago. And for example, renovate is a very advanced phase of the cycle. And we see it beginning concretely in the Nordics first. And this ensures adaptive reuse of our built environment, reusing waste, reusing already used materials, etc., and supporting a circular economy. So all of these phases are critical. They're in various stages of advancement. And we have to, the point is, we have to really think about all of them, not just the traditional plan, design, build, operate. So overall, where does Autodesk play in this decarbonization across this complex life cycle? If we look at just carbon analysis and insights, where Autodesk plays today is in optimizing design with Forma, and that's especially in the plan phase, but in fact, it even comes into play before planning. For design, exploring insights using Autodesk, our architecture, engineering, and construction collection, Revit plugins, etc. In the verify design phase with Autodesk Construction Cloud, and in managing and reporting with Autodesk Tandem. These all are out there today. They're all being revved and enhanced over time, but we're doing an increasing, we have more and more momentum in all of these different domains, and we'll continue to introduce new products and features. These, by the way, were all featured at Autodesk University just a few weeks ago. So let me dig into Forma just a little bit more than it's really the same thing that Jan Tore said, different angle though. So what Forma does is it focuses on many things, but it has a very robust sustainability set of capabilities. It also enables a third-party ecosystem, and Jan Tore talked about how Symetri is very core to that. It'll integrate core applications like AutoCAD, Revit, Civil 3D, and new applications like Tandem, all connected through Autodesk Docs. But it also allows for this third-party ecosystem to come into play, and not only a third-party ecosystem, but also allowing companies like Symetri with deep development expertise to actually be core to the expansion of Forma and the underlying AEC data model. So Jan Tore really showed this same slide, but let me point out a few different things that are critical from our perspective. So Forma really transforms planning and early stage design. The sooner you can plan and design, the better your results will be. You'll get more sustainable outcomes. There'll be less waste. So with contextual data, architects can start a new BIM project, for example, with real world contextual data in just a few clicks, reducing manual effort, and really allowing expertise via AI, that you don't have to work with deeply expert individuals in order to start this work. Conceptual design, the next phase. Once the product's set up, designers can explore their creativity. They can use modeling tools, and you know, the transition from early stage design to actual design and build is much more rapid. And this is the beauty of Forma. There are automations, there are many analyses that are built in, and interoperability is really critical. So for example, initially with Forma Revit add-in helps ensure transition to detailed design in Revit. This will broaden well beyond Revit over time. So in the future, Forma will be the underpinning for more than just Revit in the workflow. So what we have today in the AEC collection with Forma is operational energy capability, microclimate, views, noise and wind, daylight potential, solar energy, sun hours. In the near term, embody carbon, energy to carbon conversion and insight within Forma is coming. And as Jan Tore pointed out, the outdoor analysis will be part of that near term too, the outdoor area extension. Longer term, things like advanced microclimate and more will be added. So the third-party ecosystem extension of this is really critical. There's lots of things here we're exploring as a company. There's no way that Forma itself will do everything, but through third parties, it's going to be a very robust, broad-reaching system. And we anticipate by the next AU, there'll be a lot more there than there is today. So it's critical to our overall sustainability efforts. And I think this gives you a little glimpse into the future. So just a couple closing comments from me before we go back to Shivani next. We work really closely with Symetri, and we're two industry leaders who've come together with a shared vision to reset industry standards and make sustainability a fundamental practice. This is a really important point. So sustainability for us, and I think this is true of Symetri also, it isn't just about being sustainable as a freestanding company. It's about building products that amplifies that capability in the marketplace. We have a unique opportunity, given our position in the market in AEC, to have an impact on waste, on planning correctly, in being highly sustainable from the start. So this is a really powerful place to be, and by collaborating together, we have a unique capability. We're committed to refocusing the integration of sustainable practices into the workflows of our customers, the customers of Symetri, the customers of Autodesk, of course. And our goal is to make sustainability business as usual for every project. It's just core to what the project is. So what are we working on together very concretely? I can name 4 things off the top of my head, and there's probably many more, but one is Forma that we've talked talked about, the extensions that Symetri is working on with Forma. That's one. Another is OneClick. Jan Tore mentioned OneClick. I think Shivani did too. They're a partner of Autodesk also, and they're critical to both of us. They were very front and center at Autodesk University. They're a common partner. They also have things beyond what was already mentioned. For example, they have a Revit plugin, an ACC plugin, and an Autodesk Platform Services plugin already too. So they're a critical partner for both of us, and we work with them together. Another is we're working with Symetri on APS integration, what we used to call Forge, but extending that beyond where it is today. And last of all, very concrete interaction, like regular meetings between Jan Tore's team and the Autodesk development teams. For example, the MEP folks is one example, happens and will continue to happen as we extend our relationship. So there's a lot of collaboration going on, and the key to success here is to continue with that and expand it. Shivani, I think it's back to you now.
All right, thank you for that, Ron.
Yeah.
So, if we just take a brief moment to kind of reflect, in the past, it's always been our ancestors lived in harmony with nature, and they always used local materials and designs that blended seamlessly with the environment. But with the rapid industry and urbanization, our focus actually shifted to economic growth. And at that expense was our environment. And this actually brought us challenges like pollution and climate change. And today we're actually learning from our past to create a future where progress means caring for the planet. So we're actually on resetting our course, embracing sustainable practices, and building a legacy that respects both our roots and nurtures the future as well. And today we actually stand at quite a crucial moment in our pursuit of sustainability. In the past, we've often had to choose between economic success and environmental impact as well. But now, if this moves, yeah. But now technology actually guides us to a more harmonious sort of goal. Collaboration is key, and the stakeholders need to understand that the importance of environmental responsibilities. Technology helps us and technology enhances us. And to maximize positive change, the emphasis of early integration of decarbonization in every project, this transformation through technology is about securing a sustainable future for all. It's redefining our success where our technology becomes our ally. And our approach to sustainability is customer and human-centric. We understand the unique needs of our communities and individuals. And through research and creativity, we actually develop innovative solutions like Ron and Jan Tore had spoken about. And it's sustainable solutions that is actually enhancing our well-being. But sustainability is more than a concept. As I mentioned before, it's an action that we all need to take. We take concrete steps to implement sustainable solutions in design, construction, and management. And we embrace the power of collaboration, with which Ron and Jan Tore had actually explained, just small snippets of our synergy to date. Our goal is to make sustainability standard industry practice. It's focusing on the unique needs and the goals of our clients and our partners. In summary, our approach is deeply human-centric, enhancing lives, communities, and leveraging technology to enhance the community as well.